What's going on? What's going on? This is Fabio, and the Blue Room is now on the road. Came to check out a very special person, a very special producer, and a very special artist. Today, we'll be meeting with Crew. What's going on, bro?
Yo, Brody.
Not much, bro. Thanks for having me. We at Crew's studio, by the way. Make sure if you haven't been here, check him out. Dope beats. This is one of his beats. Make sure y'all check him out. So, Crew, a lot of people know you as the producer, but lately you've been writing. You've been in ciphers. I'm saying you've been doing your thing musically, as in rap side goes. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. I'm saying you got some shit cooking up. But before that, let's not even talk about that yet, because you gotta introduce yourself to the people, because a lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? They heard of you, but they don't know you. Know what I'm saying? Right. So introduce yourself to the people.
I mean, it's Crew from the North, formerly Grand Crew producer. You already know what it is. You're gonna see what's next, man. There's a little bit of changes going on, but it's Crew, man. Same dude from the block, making the beats, making that heat, man, just in different ways.
Facts, word. And I know this dude for a grip a real long time. It's been a time.
Bro.
He came up, yo, you used to see him, for people who know from Brockton, you used to see him on YouTube, on the fucking, the ads, bro. The ads, man. This dude been grinding for a long time.
To this day, bro, that shit haunts me, man.
Yeah.
People see that shit like, yo, I just seen you on this little
ad.
ad.
It's
like,
crazy, bro.
I was like 16 when I
did that
shit.
It was like, oh shit, this nigga done making that shit. I was like, oh damn. That's what's up though.
That was a crazy moment.
Basically, my man's been grinding for a very long time. Great producer. His name is Rising, but people need to big him up a little more, you know what I mean? Because this man right here is the truth. But basically, so how'd you start like producing and mixing and doing all that?
I mean, producing, first, I grew up with music all around me, you know what I'm saying? My father, he played like the bass, he played keys and stuff at church, stuff like that. He was always real big into like collecting music, so he always collected like CDs and tapes, and he would always download music. He was that dude that you would go to and like have him burn a whole CD of like mixes for you, know what I'm saying? He was that dude. I was playing music in the crib, all that. My uncles, they all played instruments too. The youngest uncle that I have, PJ, he ended up turning into a zouk artist when he was like a teenager, a young adult.
Oh, damn.
And he was producing his own music. So I seen him doing that, and I was like, yo, I could play piano. You know what I'm saying? I was playing piano when I was like 5, 6 years old, and going into like 7. Then like, you know, I learned the basics and all that. So I was like, I can play keys. You know what I'm saying? You can show me how to work this shit. I could probably make some heat, you know what I'm saying? So first I learned how to make like zouk beats, and I learned how to make like the stuff from my culture, you know what I'm saying? Like converting and stuff. And as I grew up, as I went to like middle school and stuff, I learned the art of hip hop, the art of like sampling, and then I got into high school, and from there just, you know what I'm saying, just picked up.
And that word, yes, because that's where I knew it from. I'm saying from women that's in high school and shit. But so basically, by him doing that kind of inspired you to do it.
Yeah,
basically,
man.
right?
I seen him doing it, and at the time he had a little bit of clout out here, and you know, proud of places that were around that, like Cape Verdean community. So I seen that, and I was like, yo, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
When did you actually learn that, like, you now are a producer? Like, when did you feel like you were finally a producer?
Honestly, the learning curve is like, for me, the learning curve was long. Nowadays, the learning curve is shorter. You know what I'm saying? For me to learn how to make beats and learn the software and learn how to take samples and take all these things and actually curate a whole song, you know what I'm saying? Like, it took a while. It took a while for me to learn how to do things like that. And I wouldn't say I was an actual producer until I was about like, at least like 17, you know what I'm saying? And I've been producing since I was like 9 years old, you know what I'm saying? Like making from the jump, you know what I'm saying? So that's a pretty long time. That's a pretty long learning curve, you know what I'm saying? My man's like, you know, Prod, man. I taught Prod how to make beats within a couple of weeks, you know what I'm saying? A couple of months, because he had everything. Like, I took all the I took all the hard shit and I learned it so that he could learn it faster.
Right.
So, I mean, nowadays you could become a producer easily.
Like that,
it's just about, it's not about making beats neither. It's about putting shit together so it works.
Right. That's funny you said that though, cause I actually spoke to Ven. He said that he learned it from how making beats from like just watching you doing the hit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he said like I was watching it, like I wasn't even consciously thinking of like watching, but like I was just learning like, oh
yeah,
shit.
That's crazy. And
So
he
always
real
says,
saucy. He's
yeah.
real saucy on it right now. So
yeah,
it's crazy that he says that.
yeah, he said always shows respect.
That,
yeah,
man. Shout out Van, man.
Yeah, shout out to
Love
Van,
you, bro.
for real. So damn, you're like a fucking teacher and shit.
Yo, low key, I was like, yo, maybe I should teach niggas how to make beats and
for
shit,
real,
bro.
that'll be some dope shit you could do.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit, you might have a class or some shit.
Yeah, right.
But, so who? I wanted to ask this later, but who was somebody that you like? You feel like you're great working with? A couple artists, not like, you know what I'm saying. That you really fuck with, like, you know, when
I could easily answer that,
yeah.
but it'd be a difficult answer as well. You know what I'm saying? It's just about building sound. You know, it's easy to work with somebody, just to work with somebody, but it's all about how easily is the chemistry coming together, how easily is the sound coming together.
Yeah.
I say the easiest person that I built a sound with was probably D the Flies. You know what I'm saying? Working on Dope Boy Diaries, working on, you know, just building a sound, like that was probably the most stressful process, because like at that time I went through like a whole phase where I wasn't making like trap shit, I wasn't making like jiggy shit. I was more about, let me see what I can make and be outlandish with, you know what I'm saying? So that was really like my focus. But when we started collabing and stuff, I had to conform a little bit, but I still kept my sauce, you know what I'm saying? So the process of getting what he wanted was difficult, but getting him to expand as well was easy, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like we worked really well, because within the matter of like 2 months we made over like 40 records, you know what I'm saying? So it was,
that's a lot.
And we was in here like day in, day out, night, a whole bunch of priv, whole bunch of like, you know, a whole bunch of vibes. So I feel like working with D was probably the easiest process, and you know, some days it's not as easy, but as far as like fluidity and finding like what works, like it's been working, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Damn, that's 40 songs, that's a lot of songs, bro. A lot of hard work. Can't wait to hear that Dope Boy Diary though. That shit is about to be fire,
man. He's gonna fuck up the city, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Can't wait to see that, for sure. But that's one. Do you have another one?
Secondly, building the easy.
Not even numbers, just people you.
Yeah. I mean, prod. For me, prod is easy to work with. I mean, probably not on a recording sense, because you know it's a singer. You know, you gotta get the right takes. We gotta get all that stuff. Because I don't just produce. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually engineer. Like, you know, as far as just recording. You know what I'm saying? Helping somebody get comfortable, helping somebody build a sound. But prod was pretty easy because like I said, I was on that outlandish stuff, and he was on it too. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to like, hey, let me try this and let's see what you can do on top of it. And most of the time it worked because we was there mentally like in the same place. So I could say that was a pretty easy person that I work with now. Yeah,
that's what's up. To see the growth of the artists that you work with, like, do you feel like do you enjoy that part as well, or like of seeing the growth of the artists you work with?
Hell yeah, because their growth is my growth, you know what I'm saying? So like, if I'm building them or they're building, you know, them, you really build yourself. If I'm guiding you and you're building yourself, bro, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. Even if it's not on my beats, even if it's not on, you know, my type of time. Like, if you're developing and I can see that, and you can see that when you listen back, like, that's the greatest feeling, bro. You know, that's what I do it for.
That's the part.
That's what I do for. That's the part of being a producer, bro. It's like, I'm here to help you find you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if I feel it clicking, bro, then that's just gonna motivate me to even like to go harder, bro.
I feel you. That's what's up. See, niggas gotta stick to that feeling for real.
Oh yeah, everything's feeling. It's all feeling, bro.
Right. But bro, so now you kind of get into the mix of the rapping. Like, what was the transition that you wanted to?
Rapping. I mean, I've always had a love for rapping. That's what made me want to produce.
Yeah, of course,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's what made me want to produce. Like listening to like East Coast New York rap, like that Styles P, Max B, like all that back in the day shit. Like listening to Diplomats and all that, Dipset. Listening to all them bars, like that just made me want to like. It just made me want to. It made me want to rap, but at the same time, at the time I was producing and I wanted to play the background.
Yeah.
But I always made bars on my own, like in my head, like yo, I could say this. And it wasn't until Fad threw like the third cipher, the Deeper Than Music cipher, and I was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna pop up, show face. So I popped up, me and Stately, and you know, gang was there, everybody there. We all grew up with each other and stuff. So I see everybody there, and we're just vibing. And I was just like, yo, let me spit some shit real quick. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, you went in thinking you're gonna do it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I went in just like, yo, I'm gonna just pop up and show face. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you know what? Let me just slide in.
Yeah.
So I just slid in. You feel me? And you feel me? At first, like, you know, a lot of it went over niggas' heads. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, it's really like bars and just like, you know, a lot of shit. But then like once I seen people start to react to it, like afterwards, the fact, it was just like, yo, when you drop in some music, such and such, and I was just like, you know what? I might think about that.
Sure.
And I didn't really like do anything until my cousin Scuba passed. You feel me? Once Scuba passed, and he was one of those people that like I barely seen, even though we had a great childhood. I barely seen him around, but when I seen him, we clicked. And he was one person that always like pushed me with the music. He always kept me away from like, you know, as kids, like growing up, like he would always keep me from like fucking around with them. You know what I'm saying? Like stay in there, do what you do. Like you're gonna be something. So like I always just like, you know, I did what I did, and there was a lot of times where he checked me. So I feel like when he passed, I was like, yo, I gotta make it happen somehow, some way. And even though I was doing really good with the producing, I was just like, you know, maybe it's time for me to take action and use all my talents at the same time.
Yeah, facts, word.
So that's kind of what really clicked. Like those two moments right there is really what pushed me to like, alright, maybe we can do the rap shit.
Word. So growing up, who? Oh, but you kind of into this. Who I was gonna say, were your favorite rappers that you kind of feel like you get, like you learn something from that you can use on your own, basically?
I mean, rappers that I learned something from, as far as industry or as far as like.
Yeah, industry. Growing up. Because at the time here, it wasn't that like a lot of rappers out there.
Rappers that I love. I mean, I love growing up listening to like French. You know what I'm saying? I love growing up listening to Fabulous, growing up listening to Kanye.
Word.
You know, rappers like that like they were in their pocket, but they still like poked out. You know what I'm saying? So those rappers, like they approached the rap shit with like a whole different sauce. Even though it was similar to what everybody else was doing, they just like, it was this one thing that just made them like. Every time they dropped something, like you wanted it, you know what I'm saying? So I would say like rap wise, like those were the ones that really stood out to me. Andre 3K too, but he doesn't so much influence my music like that. He just makes me like the everythingness of the music, you know what I'm saying? Because he'll just dabble in whatever, and sometimes he'll see off, but it's really like on, you know what I'm saying?
He's dope. So who would be some of the local artists that you'd fuck with to put on your tape?
Local artists that I would put on. I mean, right now I got a couple features going on right now. I got a feature from Dita Flies, obviously, that's bro. Feature from Prod, obviously, that's bro. Working on getting a feat from T Drake from Boston. He should be lacing something down soon, probably later this week. As far as the tape, that's pretty much it. I actually got a G.O.D. feature too. You know, that's bro too. Like shout out G.O.D.
Shout out G.O.D.
Shout out all y'all, man. Dre, D, I'm proud, all y'all. But I got the God feature too. I'm just not sure whether I'm putting that record on the tape or if I'm dropping it as a freebie, whatever. But I'm down to work with whoever, you know what I'm saying. Long as the sauce like mixes, long as we clicks, like the music has static, I'm for whatever. You know what I'm saying? I respect everybody's craft, you know what I'm saying. I do it respectively, in a sense where like it doesn't disturb our two sounds. So like if I feel like it won't mix, it won't mix, obviously. But, I'm down to hear anybody out and just like, let's work.
Word, I feel you. So for the tape, what kind of sound are you going for? Like, what kind of rapper do you like? What people expect on this?
I feel like a lot of people are gonna expect the rapper that they see in the ciphers. You know what I'm saying? And that's not really. That's not really how I approach the music. Like I want to approach the music like that, but my music's not that aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I just do that for the bars. You know what I'm saying? The music, it's like, it's just a little bit of everything. It's rap shit. It's hood shit. Obviously, it's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of pain. There's a little bit of turn up. There's a little bit of melancholy. There's a little bit of everything for you to pick out of it. I don't really like want the tape to have like one specific sound. I got a lot of vibes. You know what I'm saying? And it all comes from my feeling. You know what I'm saying? I make the music with the feeling. However I'm feeling at the moment, that's what I make. And a lot of the music stems from, last year. I went through a lot last year. It stems from a little bit before that. Just everything that I experienced. So, with experiences, you get a lot of feeling. So you feel a lot of what I'm putting out.
For sure, man. Damn. Nice shit. You'd want people to know. Oh, nigga, gotta tell the name of the fucking thing.
Name of the tape?
Yeah. Or do you want to tell? Or no?
I don't know. I mean, I put it out all the time, so I put it out.
Alright, so what's the name of the tape?
Name of the tape, just cause I promised it, since late last year, 12 p.m. on the North.
Why that name?
Reason why I chose 12 p.m. on the North is because obviously I live on the North Side, lived in the same block for all my life, you know what I'm saying, and everything I do is to make sure that I represent for this end, you know what I'm saying, because there's a lot of rappers that's from the South, from the East. There's not really a lot of North Side rappers. There's a few, you know what I'm saying. You got Tubbs and you got some low key niggas out there, and you got H&L obviously, Splurge Boys, but like the South Side is really just they're pulling out a lot of rap shit. So you know what I'm saying. So that's where I get Crew from the North from. You know what I'm saying. And it's 12 p.m. on the North because like at the end of the day, in the middle of the day, like this is me doing my thing. Like, this is me and my sauce, me and my emotions, me and my feelings. I found myself like late last year. I found myself like walking around the block a lot. We got the clock tower right there on East Main, and growing up with like my cousins, like we all grew up on East Main. It was like a thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like a thing that we had going on. So I found myself walking around the clock a lot, and it was always around midday. So 12 p.m. on the North.
Right. That's good shit though. Can't wait to hear the tape, bro. I'm trying to get on it, but you know what I'm saying?
I can't wait to put it out, to be honest, you know what I'm saying? To be honest, but I feel like it's gonna be good, not just for me, but for everybody else. And you get to kind of hear me on a different perspective. Everybody hears me on the beats, you know what I'm saying? So you get to hear me on the beat, that's not in a cipher, that's more like,
just
creative,
sure,
you know what I'm saying? It's not like tunnel vision, it's like a whole bunch of shit.
Alright, I feel you, that's what's up. Damn. Well, I can't wait to hear that shit. So hopefully, August you say? August. Hopefully
we'll drop some music in July, and then
that's gonna be part of the tape or not? Or just freebie?
A few of them will be for the tape. I'm just gonna start dropping music in July after Priv drop. Dope Boy Diaries, you know what I'm saying? I'll start to to put it out a little bit. Let niggas hear some shit. Let him take over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I'll pop out in August.
Alright. When is this shit supposed to drop too?
I don't know. He's contemplating a date. He has the date. You know what I'm saying? We just
not sure.
We just all be going back and forth like, yo, maybe you should. But he has a date. You know what I'm saying? Right. I just can't say the date. You know what I'm saying? I'll let him do his thing. But when it comes out, man, it's gonna be great, bro.
Yeah,
this is
his shit and your shit.
Yeah. Nah, I was really excited working on that shit. Once we finished that shit, bro, like we was like, yo, it's finally over. But it's really just the beginning, you know what I'm saying? This tape is gonna set off a lot of, you know what I'm saying? A lot of artists is gonna want to level up after this shit. The city's gonna want to level up after this shit, so.
Alright, that's what's up. Can't wait to hear that shit. Then hear your shit, bro. Then, yo, it's dope to see, like, mad people just working on their craft, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit is dope. That's why we do this shit too. Motivate people, you know what I'm saying? Get out the streets and shit, go work on your craft, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or use that money for your craft, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, do that shit. Get your shit, like, out, you gotta get out, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's what we do this shit for.
Yeah, for real.
You know, niggas work jobs, niggas trap, niggas do all this other shit, man. You turn to this shit and you just want to do it the same way, you know what I'm saying? This shit it's just like the rap game is just like the trap game, you know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit of different ethic, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of different environment, but it's all the same shit. We all the same niggas doing the same shit. We grinding, bro.
Damn, bro. Again, thank you so much for having me, bro.
I appreciate you having me, man. Shout out Rock the Mag, whole family, man.
Thanks.
Shout out everybody out there doing their thing. Shout out Dreams from the East, bro. Pedro. Thanks from Broncos, all my guys, best friends, more bands. Shout out BTO, AHNO, State League, everybody working, NASA, Splurge Boys.
So many. Dude, there's so many.
Yeah, nah, there's a lot of talent in Brooklyn, bro.
It's
crazy.
Yo.
A lot of talent, bro. Shout out my man's Packy too. Even though
Packy,
I'm trying to stay away from the south side shit. Crew from the north, but I'm gonna show love to Packy because
my God. But for real, but yeah, bro, it's a pleasure. Can't wait to hear everything, man. And much more blessings for you, bro.
It's been quite the journey, man. Just working on everybody else's shit and just finally be able to put time into my own shit.
That's important too, for sure.
We'll see, man.
Thank you, bro. And to everybody, make sure check out for the tees coming up, Rock the Mag tees. Check out for Dreams from the East tees and other clothing. Check out Hurt and Feelings.
Hurt and Feelings too, my guy. Bro. Support the locals, man.
Gas, my boy.
Support the locals, man. Half my wardrobe is local shit. Most of it, at that, like 3/4 of my wardrobe is just
shout out everybody, man.
You gotta show love, man.
Alright, man. Thank you. Peace.